three E's are energy, empathy, and edification. So the energy, this is the X factor because it involves a lot of emotional intelligence. And it's very difficult to teach emotional intelligence. So what we want to do with this energy is train it by game film. And I will kind of go over this concept in a second. But this is tough because you have to be able to mirror and match somebody's energy when you're interacting with them. This is a superpower of some, and it is kryptonite for others. I have done 1,450 interviews on my podcast. So I have the ability to kind of mirror and match somebody's energy. If somebody comes onto the podcast and they are very dry and boring, I mirror and match that and do my best to build rapport with them by mirroring their energy and then elevating that energy slowly. Because once I am in rapport and energetically on the same page with them, then I can guide the conversation. I can guide the energy. And it's very difficult to train that. But if you're constantly recording and you're constantly filming these interactions between the treatment coordinator and the patients, then we can slowly start improving their ability to mirror and match that tone. But energy, rapport building and tone, that's the first thing. The next is empathy. Listen and recognize, okay? It's really, really interesting. People think that they're empathetic, and they might be empathetic people. But when you record an interaction with them and somebody else, they miss a lot of opportunities to show empathy. You know, I'm terrified of the dentist because it was a horrible experience when I was 5 years old, and we're just like, okay, well, anyway, this is what we need to do. You need a crown. Huge opportunity, what I call an E opportunity to show empathy. And we are encountered by these multiple times a day. We forget it because we just hear the same stories over and over again, and we're 15 minutes late to our hygiene appointment, and we just got to get on with the day. We miss opportunities to show empathy. That has to be completely and totally ingrained into the culture of your dental practice. And then edification, we talk about this a lot. And I'm going to add genuine conviction when it comes to edification. So I'm going to go kind of deep into this. It might be a rabbit hole, but when we're talking about edification, this is the ability to build everybody up on your team, particularly the providers. Okay, so I edify my front desk person and my insurance coordinator because Mrs. Jones, I'm going to turn this over to Mary because she understands your insurance, and I'm just a dum-dum when it comes to insurance, but she is a master. She's a ninja when it comes to getting every dollar from your insurance policy. She's going to talk about your treatment plan, and you understand everything that I went over you as far as what your treatment is, blah, blah, blah. I hand it over to Mary. That is edification. It's subtle, but every time we hand over and transfer trust from one person to the next, they are edifying the next person. It is a chain of awesomeness. This person is awesome. I'm going to hand you over to Susie. She's awesome. Susie's going to hand over to Janice. Janice is awesome. Genuine edification, and you have to believe it. Now, when it comes to your team edifying you, your team edifying the associates in your practice, your team edifying the hygienist in your office, okay? That has to come with real conviction. Everything else goes out the window if the edification and your conviction is not genuine. Okay, for instance, what I'm trying to say here is that they have to believe that you are providing the best care in the community. There is no other person in your community that is better at doing what we are doing than we are, okay? We are excellent at it. And I'm not just going to say that. I'm going to show you the continuing education team. This is what I did this weekend. I went to this clinical continuing education event, and here's what we did. Here's our befores, and here's our afters. Here's the number of patients that we saw. Here is exactly what I'm doing to improve my skill set. We're going to bust out the last 15 five-star reviews because we only focus on the ones. We're actually going to get the fives out, and we're going to read those at our morning huddles. We're going to read those at our weekly growth meetings because they need to be reminded that people love us. We're not going to talk for 3 days about the 1-star review that Mrs. Jones gave when 15 other people gave 5-star reviews. So we're going to read that stuff. We're going to remind one another that we're awesome. We're going to educate the team on what it took to get our DDS in the first place. It took 4 years of backbreaking study and sacrifice to get good enough grades to get into dental school, and dental school sucked. And we got out of dental school. I really didn't know a lot, but now that I'm 6 years, 10 years, 15 years into this, I have fine-tuned my skill set. You want to show them what a bad filling looks like, what a bad root canal looks like, and then show them what your average post-op picture looks like. They have to have so much conviction that when they get an objection during a treatment plan, they're like, no, Mrs. Jones, you don't understand. We are the best at what we do. We are not this place that's promising to save you $5 on this root canal. This is a typical root canal. This is what you will get. And it's not going to hurt. Here are 6 reviews that said that Dr. Costas gives completely painless injections. That is the kind of conviction that you need from your treatment coordinators, the type of edification, the depth of edification that you need from everybody on your team. That will change everything about your treatment plan acceptance. The mechanics of the treatment plan acceptance and the treatment presentation is less important than all of this stuff. Conviction, them understanding that you are the best at what you do is the most important thing. Once they understand that they are morally obligated because they trust your treatment plans, you're an ethical office, that Mrs. Jones will be healthier if she says yes to this treatment. She will save herself money eventually. She will be out of pain. They will have conviction to know that I am morally obligated to convince Mrs. Jones to say yes to this treatment.